All right, if your front desk is constantly hearing, "Do you take my insurance?" And if they answer that question right out of the gate, they're losing patients right then and there before they even have the chance to become a patient. And we need to fix that. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how you shift the first 2 to 3 minutes of your first phone call so that your team actually leads that patient to conversion and uncovers what's really important to the patient. We actually get them booked, even if you're out of network with most other insurances. And so here's what we're going to want to cover. Number one, why answering questions too early completely kills the conversation. Number two, we're going to talk about how to redirect the insurance conversation without being, elusive or salesy. Number three, we're going to talk about a discovery process that helps your team ask the right questions before we talk about price and the benefits of working with you. And this works even if your practice is cash, hybrid, or you frequently run into insurance objections. And in fact, this is the exact framework we use with have used with over 100 cash pay and hybrid clinics at this point, and it is the most common problem that I see when working with them. So let's dive right in. Number one, I need you guys to stop answering questions right out of the start of the gate. And so often there's this conflicting viewpoint, right? Where the patients call in because they want questions answered. You're calling because you want to show them how much you can help them, or you're answering so that you can show how much you can actually help them and actually try to get them in to be a patient. But what most of you guys do and what most of your front desk do is you guys basically just act as you act as a question ground, right? Where they jump on, they say, "Would you take my insurance?" They say no. Well, how much does it cost? Well, it's 225. When can I come in? Or when are you guys booking? We're booking a week or two out. And like, then that's the end of the conversation, right? We've just exchanged information and actually haven't, connected with one another for them to actually think it's a good idea. And when your front desk just simply leads with logistics, we don't have a chance to actually book somebody. And what most what most practice owners will do in this case is they'll try rewriting their scripts. They'll try changing their prices. They'll try doing discounted evaluations. They'll try uh, adding new services. They will try so many different things, but none of that even matters when we actually haven't had the chance to connect with somebody. And it's because we're just leading with logistics. And so what we want to do is we need to be the leader of the phone call. In traditional healthcare practices, the front desk only acts as a Q&A center and then a logistics scheduler, right? It's like, hey, I'm just going to put you on the schedule. What's your name? What's your date of birth? What's your insurance? And that mentality has bled over into some of these cash practices, and they're not being leaders. They're just being followers. They're just doing what's asked of them from the patient that they're talking to. And we need that person to not answer questions, but be the leader of the phone call. And being the leader of the phone call means they're the one asking questions and they're the one guiding the person that we're talking to on the phone, ultimately guiding that person all the way to booking. And the way that we're going to guide them to booking is not answering insurance questions at the start of the phone call, not talking about what it's like at the eval, not telling them how great you are, not telling them all the gadgets and the gizmos and nonsense that you guys do. That's not what ultimately gets somebody to book. And so what we have to do is we have to acknowledge any questions that they have, and we need to have phrases that establish the us as the leader. And one of my favorites is, "Hey, I'd love to learn a little bit more about what's going on with you. And if we think it's a good fit, then we can talk about getting you scheduled and insurance and all that good stuff." How does that sound, right? Now I'm the one that's finished by asking the question, not I'm answering question after question after question. And so once we've established ourselves as the leader of the phone call, oftentimes now the insurance question has come up. Really being the leader helps completely prevent the insurance objection, right? Because you're the one asking questions, you beat them to it. If it does come up though, then we need to be able to redirect the insurance question at the start of the phone call and just tell them simply, "Hey, we'll cover that towards the end of our call. I just want to make sure it's something I can help you with." And if we can be the leader, if we do get the insurance objection, we redirect it. And I let them know that I'm actually going to tell them. Like I'll sometimes get pushback from people here about this, but again, we have to push that information until the end of the phone call because they don't even know what they're buying, right? It's like, hey, it could be 225. Like I'll just use a PT example. We usually charge 225 at the time of this recording, probably raised soon, but we're at 225. And if they think they're going to get the same crappy PT that they got somewhere else, then that's just that would be silly, right? Why would I pay for that? That's like, hey, yeah, we sell cheeseburgers. Okay, how much? Yeah, it's they're $20 a cheeseburger. It's like, oh, I'm good. That sounds kind of expensive, right? But they didn't get the chance to connect with me. Tell me what's actually about it. Like what's unique about it. For all I know, that comes with maybe it comes with a drink or maybe it comes with an appetizer, right? And now that value is actually there. But if I'm not able to actually help them understand why that's valuable and guide them to booking, we're never going to get anybody to book. And that's why these leads are reaching out to you and you're just your team is striking out and missing and you're leaving a lot of revenue on the table. And so be the leader of the phone call, establish you as the person asking questions. We're going to next redirect the insurance question if it came up. Definitely do not answer that question. And I have a rule with anybody that I coach and teach. Do not disclose price, out of network status, what you guys do. Don't do any of that until you fully understand what it is that the patient wants and ultimately what the patient needs. And so at that point, we're going to turn that conversation now into discovery, right? And so that first really like minute or 2 minutes has now got you in the driver's seat. You're the person that's ultimately asking these questions now. You've redirected it. And now I want to deep dive into what's going on with the person we're talking to. And typically, this can take 7 to 10 minutes long, depending on your price points, depending on what you guys do, and all that good stuff. There's some variability from practice to practice. But we want to do a deep dive discovery now, right? And that starts by getting questions that are specific to what's going on right now. This is especially true for like functional medicine practices or people who see a lot of like chronic pain or somebody who's been dealing with something for a long time is they'll make the mistake of asking, well, what has you reaching out right now? And now you get blasted with like a 5 minute story of like, old history that maybe doesn't even matter. There has to be something that's going on right now. And I like to open up my discovery by asking, well, tell me what's going on right now that has you reaching out. And I want to get as much information about how they are limited today, right? Not 6 years ago, not 5 years ago, 15 years ago. It's like, I want that information. How are you limited right now? Because that's ultimately why they have decided to reach out. And once we do a discovery, then what we're going to do is we're going to be ethical. We're going to tell them what it's like to work with us, what the first session's like, what follow-up sessions are like, and we're going to move into basically our closing pitch where we tell them about how we can actually help them get back to whatever their goal actually is that we've discovered on the phone call. And at that point, we'll tell them everything. We'll tell them the price. We'll tell them we're out of network. We'll tell them that most of our patients buy packages. We're going to disclose and share all of that information so that we can be on the same page, right? And not be sleazy. It'd be sleazy if you redirected the insurance question, never told them, and then tried to bait and switch them in the clinic. And that's never going to work. It's going to get you a really negative Google rating and some really upset customers, right? Because you didn't start the relationship off on the right foot. And so those are the three steps really to redirect the top of the phone call and set you up for better success, right? And so again, what we want to do is we want to be the leader of the phone call, not the person answering questions. We want to redirect the insurance question until the very end of the call so that they know what they're actually buying and how we're different and how we can actually help them. And then lastly, we want to set the discovery up so that we can deep dive into where they are right now and ultimately where they want to go. And if we can deep dive that information, suddenly patients care a lot less about ultimately who's going to pay for it, how much it costs, that you're out of network, and all of that good stuff. They will overlook that because you've spent time, built trust, and now they're ready to come in and actually get the help that they're looking for. And so if your team is stuck just answering questions or you hear their phone calls and they're constantly losing leads that you know you could have booked, it's not because they're doing something wrong, it's because they haven't been led to ultimately be able to handle that stuff. And so if you want actual scripts and frameworks and call review tools, I created an entirely free group for you. It is called our Front Desk School. All you have to do is click the link below here. You can join that. It's completely free. We've got like 1,500, 1,600 docs in there, all learning from each other and helping build each other up and get their front desk to the next level. And if you need even more information here from our channel, all you have to do is check out our Fix Your Front Desk series. It's a great series. We've got 5 videos in there. You can binge watch that and ultimately know all the tools that you need to fix your front desk. We'll see you soon.